This is an update to my rant, I should say my plea for help on the show. I want to paint a scenario for you because I'm getting a lot of private messages and via Facebook, and I'm getting a lot of communication coming at me, and there's a lot of confusion here. I'll put a scenario together for you. You're watching TV, regular TV, and you watch it and you really get, you get addicted to a show, you like it, and you really, you enjoy it. And then out of the blue, bang, that you find out that the network's canceled the show. And you're sitting there and you're going like, why? Why is it canceled? It was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And then then you hear about online a swell of support and people doing petitions and trying to bring the show back, to convince the studios to bring it all back. Well, that's what TV is like, when other people are in control and you have no say on what's on the TV in front of you. Now, that's the thing that is so different compared to YouTube, and the internet. YouTube specifically, it's an interactive platform. You comment below the videos, and either I thumb you up the comment to acknowledge that you've made a comment, or I reply back to your comment. It's an interactive, it's a two-way street on YouTube. It's not TV where you just sit passively on a couch and you get bombarded with commercials, and then bang, the executives say, well, we've had enough of this show, and then bang, they pull a pin out, and then you're sitting there going, well, I really like that show, and you canceled it. Why did you do that? Well, some people are saying to me, it's not their responsibility to feed the ducks, and no, it's not. But it is your responsibility to support the show if you like it, and that's the thing about YouTube. It allows a creator like myself. I create the show, and I communicate with you, and you communicate with me, and I acknowledge your communication and your input. And then, they saw me, they went out. I see they've got my train of thought here. So what happens is, it's a two-way street, the communication, and that's what it's all about. That's what YouTube's all about. And it's about, your input. You give me input, and, sometimes I listen to your input, sometimes I don't. And then, you see what I'm doing, and you tell me on this, in the comments, you like what I'm doing. So, when I get in, we have a situation on the show where it's like, the show's in jeopardy, because I see that, I'm not getting the support I need to keep the show going. And, I have, would you rather have, I behind the scenes, take care of my responsibility of taking care of the animals, which, hey guys, believe me, I'm more committed to these animals than I am to the show, I'll tell you right now. The welfare of the animals, just like, we had the Muscovy incident, I didn't put the camera on, I didn't think about the camera when I was saving the ducklings. I was thinking about the ducks. The animals come first, and the welfare of the animals come first, and that's what I'm about, because that's what kind of person I am. So, when I see, the show in jeopardy, because I see, the support, there's something wrong on the support, and I let you know. It's up to you to let me know, because would you rather have that I just, deal with it behind the scenes, and, I've got a job offer right now, and which would solve my problems. I could take care of the ducks, and I could feed them, and then I could harvest them this fall, and, but I wouldn't have any time to have the show going. So would you rather have me, post a video saying, I'm really sorry guys, I love your support, you've been great fans, but the show's over because I've taken a job so that I can buy duck feed, so that I can take care of the animals and fulfill my responsibilities to these animals. That wouldn't be fair. That to the fans, everybody who has supported me and commented on the show, and the ones that have shared, that have thumbs up the program, and it just would be totally wrong. It would be a betrayal of your loyalty and your support. That's the bottom line, So by me putting the cards on the table and saying, there's the cards, it's up to you, I can't see why that is wrong, and I'm just being honest, because I could have honestly just, I could take this job and end the show and not give you an explanation, just say it's over, and then you'd all be sitting there going, well, what happened? Why? Well, why can't we save the show? How can we save the show? And that's what, I did the rant, and I didn't want to put the rant up, guys. I did the rant when I saw the shares being, dive bomb, and I was depressed, and I kept it to myself. But the sharing kept getting worse and worse and worse, or less and less and less, I should say. And it hurt me. And I said, I'm gonna put that rant up, and believe me, I edited it out of the video originally, and I put it up, and I've gotten a lot of flack from it. Because people say it's not their responsibility to feed the animals. And no, it's not. but it is your responsibility to support the show if you want the show to continue. Because, you know, that's what YouTube's all about, guys. That's what it's about, is interacting with the creator and showing your support or your non-support, or trashing me, or trolling me, or giving me your encouragement. You know, that's what YouTube's about. It's a two-way platform. It's not just me putting something up and, you know, disabling the comments. I don't want to hear from you. You know, or never replying to a comment, never thumbsing up your comment, never acknowledging your existence. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that keep throwing stuff up that you could comment on and you would never have a reply from them. I have never done that on my show. My channel, I try to get involved with you guys because, one, I appreciate your support like you wouldn't believe. That's all I can say. Nothing more. I'm lost for words and I'm choking up. So, all right, I'm back. I get choked up, you know, because I care about this so much. But I want to explain to you guys why sharing, liking, you know, commenting is so important to a channel on YouTube. Is YouTube, when they look at a channel, if it's quality content, how they tell that is about how much a channel is shared, how many comments it gets, negative or positive, how many thumbs up, down, it doesn't matter. It's all about the interactivity. And it's the interactivity that determines if YouTube promotes a channel. So the more active you are in supporting the channel, the more YouTube basically sits up, pays attention, and says, we need to put this channel front and center to other people to see. And, you know, and I know a lot of people have said, you know, I need to do shorter videos. The problem is with short videos, it attracts the wrong kind of people because they have a short attention span. You know, this show is a deep program, guys. It's about raising animals and what's actually really hands-on involved. And, you know, it brought you here. You know, it wasn't a short little tiny video that brought you here. It was the series of what I'm doing, and it's, you know, sort of like, you know, taking an hour-long soap opera and saying we have to come up with a short episode to attract people. No, people watch soap operas because they get addicted to them because they're interested in them, or, you know, it's just, you know, it's brain candy. I don't consider, you know, 50 ducks in a hot tub brain candy. I consider it, you know, knowledge that I'm passing on to you guys, because I go through a lot of learning curves here that I'm documenting and showing, and hopefully that will stop other people from making these bad mistakes that I've made. So, but it's you know, YouTube, when they look at a channel and they see that it's getting shared lots, and believe me, I get notifications about when things happen, and that's YouTube sitting up and taking notice and saying, you know, 50 ducks in a hot tub, there's something going on here, and we need to put this in front of other people. And that's why it's important, you know, for you to get involved in the show, be it commenting, thumbs up the videos, sharing. You know, that's what it's all about, guys. It's a two-way street, and I love your support, and you know, and there's many dear fans that it would kill me to say goodbye to, and I will do everything I can, you know, to keep it going. And you know, maybe I'm banging my head against the wall, maybe I'm crazy, or maybe I'm not, but we'll see. But I'm going to keep trying, and I can't thank you guys enough for the sharing that's going on now, and I hope you guys keep it up. And you know, I can't say much more, but I wanted to put this, you know, this follow-up, this video out to you guys so that you could really understand, you know, I'm laying the cards on the table here. I'm not playing any games. I'm not, you know, scamming. I want you to know what's going on, and, you know, because I don't want the show to end. I love what I'm doing, guys. You know, it's long, brutal days, and believe me, it's long, brutal days. You know, but I get up at 4 a.m. because I want to get up. I don't even set my alarm clock. I just wake up because I know I've got something to do that I love to do, and that is produce this show for your entertainment, and your enjoyment, and your knowledge. And I hope you guys can understand. And I know there's a lot of you do, and I know there's a lot that don't. But I know there's far more that do. And I just want to give this update to you guys.